couple of things to help remind you, you know what I'm saying, that you're straight. You know what I'm saying? Is for one, you are forever. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know some of us feel like it would quote unquote suck to reincarnate in this realm, but again, you are forever. So, yeah, if you just to say you had to spend some more lifetimes in this realm, at least you know that there's going to come a point where you're going to be able to exit again. So you're always forever. Another aspect to be reminded of is when you go through shit, when you go through those lower vibrations or you feel like things are just extremely tough, realize that you could only go, you know, as high to like the microcosmic orbit, you could only go as high as you have been low. Hence why those of us who've been through a lot of deep shit, you know what I'm saying? Not in a derogatory sense of it, you know what I'm saying? Get no good or bad, right or wrong. But those of us who've been through a lot of tough moments, a lot of traumatic moments, is able to rise to that, that high space because of how low we went, you know what I'm saying? And again, like to understand and see, like, all right, when you're going through something, now, it's not to make it from an ego perspective of like, oh yeah, if I'm going through something, that means I'm somebody, I'm something, like not from an ego perspective, but more so from a reassuring perspective of knowing like, all right, if I'm going through these tough moments, these traumatic moments, it can't rain forever, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, like the microcosmic orbit, I'm not going to stay, in those lower vibrations forever, it's going to rise back up, you know, ascension, descension, that's the story of when you're breathing for the microcosmic orbit and the story of, whether it be, the Yeshua, Jesus, Haru, you know, all those 16 stories, you know what I'm saying? Uh, it's like that assurance that, when you have those low moments, you're going to have that return to those higher heights as well, And the key is, being aware of that balance in between. And just simply, definitely like if you see yourself, where you feel like you're being spiritually challenged, you know, like know that that means that you are a very important being. And again, as I say that, not to get in your ego about it, but it's to understand that you have like, a purpose, you know, uh, to really bring forth awareness in this realm, And again, bring forth awareness may not necessarily be that you got to be a teacher, quote unquote, you know what I'm saying? Again, just holding a certain space is teaching, you know what I'm saying? It just depends on what's your gifts and abilities, and hence why it's not a good thing to necessarily compare yourself to anybody. You learn from somebody who's maybe doing the same things that you are gifted at. But to compare yourself to anybody, that's where you could get lost in the sauce. You might be more of an earth energy and receive things more from an earth perspective, while somebody else might be more of a water energy and deals with things from a water perspective. And again, we all maintain a balance within those four elements and the fifth element, ether, but at the same time, some of us have expertise, so to speak, in certain areas and certain elements, you know what I'm saying? So it's like being aware of that energy, you know. But, that's simply it. Things have to cycle. So you're going to go, from those lower energies to the higher. So if you feel like, oh shit, things are tough, know that you're straight. Know that you just have to continuously work on understanding yourself because spirit is speaking to you by what you're going through in order for you to become aware of something about yourself. You know what I'm saying? You may be blaming people externally. You may be not embracing your spiritual gifts and abilities. You know, it's something going on, where spirit is trying to make you aware of, We say spirit, your inner intuition, inner guidance, spirit guides, ancestors, tomatoes, you know what I'm saying, in that sense of inner guidance, you know what I'm saying? It's trying to let you know, uh, again, that trying to make you aware of yourself in that sense. But, and just know that you're divinely taken care of, stay optimistic, you know. And when I say optimistic, that doesn't mean to try to ignore, you know, the quote unquote negative moments or quote unquote negative emotions or lower vibrational emotions, because they're just as valid and important as the high vibrational energies and high vibrational moments and, in those quote unquote great moments. When I say optimistic, more in the lines of some people may call it faith, you know, to stay in that energy of faith and to not just like, oh fuck it, you know what I'm saying, like to not go into that energy, you know because again, when we talk about shadow work and appreciating, you know the existence of negativity, to appreciate the existence of, those unaccepted aspects of self, you know that doesn't mean a fuck it energy of like, oh just fuck it, you know what I'm saying. And understanding again, like, now is the vibrate. That's the key. If you're feeling more depressed, you're kind of going back in time, quote unquote. You're kind of like going into the past. If you're a little anxious all the time, you're kind of worrying about the future too much, like worrying about trying to plan ahead. The now moment is, again, that's the quote unquote time machine, dimensional machine, you know, whatever you want to call it, It's like that Legba energy in between those realms, and uh, and outside of this, but related to just right now, bring it up, is the balance of our God energy and our humanity energy. Because our humanity energy, when we think about our human aspects of ourselves, a lot of us, you know, I hold myself accountable for seeing how I was like, oh, I'm awakening and fuck that humanity shit, like, you know, and it's like, yeah, I'm aware, now growing into it, now knowing better, it's like, of course, I'm more than a human, but I'm here now for the reason of transmuting this earth energy or this human bodysuit energy and transmuting generational curses more so connected to my earth plane experience, you know what I'm saying? And this also comes into play with, again, we don't have to necessarily try to force ourselves to, you know, uh, be like our family members who may not tap into spirituality on this level. But at the same time, it's not to throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's not to, be against them or, hate them or, or anybody for that sense. Of course, we have our moments, again, of anger and, and even possible hate sometimes. But, it's an energy to work through and that ain't going to, stay there in essence. Gotta acknowledge it. Energy and motion, gotta acknowledge it to let it move up and out instead of holding on to it. But again, it's like embracing our humanity, embracing, our connection with our earth plane family, you know. Because again, if it wasn't for coming through your mom's portal, you know what I'm saying, you wouldn't be having this experience, you know what I'm saying. And as tough as it may seem sometimes, there is you know, a lot of growth, a lot of fun, you know what I'm saying, in this earthly plane experience. Although it just depends on what lens you're constantly looking out of. Hence why gratitude and appreciation is so important, because a lot of us could be sitting around complaining about being on earth all the time. Some of us do it jokingly, but in a deeper sense, behind the scenes, we appreciate the experience, and that's another thing, again, like, internally, you know, but again, it's like, because that's the balance. Everything right now is just coming into like equanimity, equilibrium and balance, and Again, like, and hence why, although we talk about exiting the matrix or, exiting this earthly plane, you know, it's also about, again, like transmuting, you know, the energies within our bodysuit, transmuting the energies within our quote unquote bloodline, aka that Mars energy, because again, that's why we probably, for the most part, choosing certain, you know, quote unquote family members and stuff like that, because it could have been people we, had beefs with. I think about the Mars and the Iron energy. It deals with deep passion and it also deals with Warren energy as well. And Iron is in our blood. And talk about the blood family. And the Venus energy, pumps that Iron energy, that heart energy. You know, but again, balancing things out. And again, I'm just feeling that message of also, valuing the human experience, valuing, your earth plane family members just as much as you value, the intergalactic fam, the Lemurian fam, the Atlantis fam, the Inca Wat fam, the Aztec and Mayan fam, the Yoruba fam, and you get the picture, you know what I'm saying? But, the angelic fam, the angelic beings, the archangel beings, it's like, it's more than just that, again, and everything, again, maintain that balance, not being on the extreme, because you're not extremely, you know, just one side of the picture. When we think about source energy or God energy, it's not just fire, it's not just water, it's not just earth, it's not just uh, air, it's not just ether. It's that balance between all of them. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, that's just the message that's coming up, and that just felt the urge to share with y'all. Cause I'm on some human shit in this story. You know what I'm saying? So now's the vibe break. Not too far in the future, not too far in the past. Right now. Peace. Peace.